Don't you love it when tech shits the bed? My countdown broke. Apologies. I had no idea what time was left. Sorry about that. Good morning. I don't know if anyone's around, but just quickly, this one's not going to be long, which means it'll be 7 hours. We know that by now. But I just thought, well, I'd better stream and get this out of the way. But I've been wanting to talk about Clubhouse for a while. And I wanted to talk about it when it was new. And we've seen it kind of take a bit of a fucking journey. It started out great. So the tech people, in all their wisdom, decided, well, people seem to be misunderstanding each other a lot on Twitter because of non-verbal communication, absence of non-verbal communication. So what we'll do is we'll create... Oh, also, people, you know when you're listening to a podcast and you really are upset about what the person's saying and you want to interject and yell at them for being so wrong? Well, here's an app for you. And it's called Clubhouse. And what we'll do is we'll make it invite only. We'll give back one piece of communication, which is voice. And we'll just make it so that everyone just assumes the worst of everybody else. And what we'll do is we'll make it so that all the people that you've previously blocked on Twitter can talk to you on a new app with voice. Make it invite only. And let's just see how that goes, shall we? We have a vision to make the world a better place. That's what Silicon Valley does. I love tech. They're so utopian. Like, the thing is, they just don't get human nature. Either that or they do. They either really get it or they don't get it and they're doing it on purpose. I don't know. That's the thing that always remains to be seen. But I started with Clubhouse. Now, what is Clubhouse? Clubhouse is an app. It's iOS only, okay? They've just released an Android version for beta, a beta version in the United States only for Android bros. So already there's a status attached to something being an iOS only app, right? If you understand this, like there's tribes, okay? So let's just open it to Apple cunts only. Let's make it invite only. So us and our friends and whoever we deem important enough to be on this thing. And let's just let them invite everybody and see what happens, eh? It's been fun. It's fun. So it's basically an app where you can just drop in and create rooms. They're voice rooms. Basically like a group call, but sort of open and online and anyone can drop in. Okay. Now, moderators can, choose who speaks. That won't be abused at all. And moderators have obviously some limited moderation powers. The ability to create a room, set the topic of a room, and, people can just listen or they can put their hand up to speak. And obviously the moderator gets to decide that. And basically, we'll just see what happens next, eh? So what it started is, basically it was launched off the back of I think it, I like the idea of Clubhouse, but it's really funny to see history repeat itself in terms of new platforms. Like Clubhouse is sort of as shiny as, Twitter was. It was kind of like when Twitter first started, I think people don't realize that Twitter is not, it wasn't always this way. Like Twitter iterated. Like in tech, it's called iteration, which means change bit by bit and constantly learn, listen to the users in user experience. Basically, the approach is to under like lean user experience or lean product management. That's what this is called, is that you launch it quickly, okay, with what you think would roughly work. Then you measure and you survey the users and look at how they use it and you improve it on the fly. It's a bit like building a parachute after you've already jumped out of the plane, okay? You're just assembling it as you go. That's a lot of the explanation for a lot of the problems that we've seen, which is that, people just have an idea, they launch it, and then they listen to the users, and the user sort of feeds back on the users created the retweet functionality, right? You didn't actually have a retweet button on old Twitter. You didn't have quote tweet on Twitter. Even the reply function was rudimentary. You couldn't actually reply. Basically the users decided that. So Twitter was basically a broadcast. When I first signed up, it was just, here's my head in a jar. Here's some thoughts at 140 characters or less. It was basically like sending a brain fart SMS to a server, and everyone could subscribe to that feed, okay? There wasn't really interaction, but then you were able to mention people. So the @ symbol. So that's where that @ symbol came from, @ username. And then people would do that, and you would, so they gradually iterated the platform. And so this is where user-driven design can actually be very good, but also, it can be a little bit reactive and a little bit not strategic. So Twitter iterated, right, its way into being the end of the world. Now, they didn't realize a lot of these things, right? That they sort of just built these things as it developed, and as that user base sort of demanded it and started using the platform in a certain way. Now, seeing that with Clubhouse is interesting to me as well, because what it looks like is that they haven't learned anything from Twitter. They've sort of learned a little bit, but not much, which is the fact that people are just going to entrench themselves, and the misunderstandings are actually even more dramatic and greater than anything else. So let me just hang on. Let me just get the chats up, because I can't, probably no one around. No, not many people watching. Is that this time of day? Not many people watch. Well, no one watches me anyway, but less watch me at this time of day. But anyway, so Clubhouse, basically, like you log in, you set up a room, and you do what I do, which is have no one show up. But in the rooms where people show up, it's like my 11th birthday party all over again, where no one showed up to my party. Anyway, I think I'm a lot more interesting than you do, obviously. Anyway, so you set up a room, and basically, you can invite people to speak, or people can just crash the room or show up, and conversations can be had. Now, there's a whole bunch of people that take that shit really seriously, and they think that they can, in a pandemic when everyone's at home, stuck on their phones, they're just going to talk it out. Well, that's what they think they're going to do. Basically, the culture wars moves over to Clubhouse, and you get to listen to people screeching rather than angry typing. It's fabulous. But what I do love is watching. So basically what happened was, it started out being kind of invite only for sort of tech industry and, innovation wankers and, all those fucking wankers that take themselves too seriously to begin with, talking about, the future of technology and blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't have a fucking plan already. We know your plan, okay? Which is to decouple humanity from everything that makes us human, okay? Like, Tim Dillon actually said, like, early when Clubhouse first launched, that it was basically like having listening to them saying all the quiet parts out loud on Clubhouse. These innovators and tech dudes, basically their vision for humanity. It's fucking terrifying what they want to do, okay? This is what happens when you when you confuse sociopaths for innovation. No, some tech's not good. Some tech's bad. Anyway, let me sit. Let me relax. Let me relax a bit. We're friends. Let me relax. But basically what happened, okay, hang on, let me frame this shot better. There we go. But basically you go in and it's like, okay, Eric Weinstein's showing up and he's talking all day. Okay. But all he did was, okay, so basically you have all these rooms. It's hard to explain. Let me start again. So Clubhouse, people thinking that naively that setting up a room on like all of the world's problems is the way all of the world's problems are going to be solved on fucking Clubhouse. Okay. Let's talk it out. Let's talk about racism. Cool. Let's talk about wokeism. Cool. Let's talk about anything. Cool. If you ever wanted to know what the sound of 1,000 buttholes clenching in unison sounds like, go into a room where Americans who take themselves way too seriously are talking about race. You want to hear buttholes clench? That's what it sounds like. It's like a sucking sphincter. Like you just hear the air sucked out of a room when someone... That's one of the funny things about Clubhouse is all these fucking rooms where it's like hundreds of people in there and you just know that some dude is in there and he's just said, you know where he's slipped up. You know what he's done. Someone might accidentally misgender someone based on their voice. Someone might accidentally talk over someone because there's a slight fucking lag and everyone's talking over each other, but that's like, God forbid, that's oppressive, not technology. That's Clubhouse. It's great. Talking out the world's problems. I don't think anyone who's talking out the world's problems has 12 hours a day to sit on a fucking app. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that nobody who does anything worthwhile with their time, me included, is sitting on these things. I'm sitting here because I'm fucking sick of all of it and I'm trying to make a living that doesn't involve that because I hate it and I'm bored. But I don't do any work. I don't pretend that I'm changing the fucking world or having a serious... These people who take themselves so seriously give me the shits. It's like, you're not changing the world on Clubhouse. All those people that... Okay, I do threads on Twitter, but that's because I fucking get on a tweet storm. But generally speaking, okay, people who do like threads on Twitter, let's put them in a room with a captive audience. See, that's the funny thing about Clubhouse is that you end up fucking seeing people from Twitter who are actually fucking cranks and who just love the sound of themselves talking. I admit that I love the sound of myself talking. But no one listens to me, so that's okay. No one pretends that I'm saving the world. Everyone treats me exactly as I should be treated, which is like a fucking crank. Anyway, so... Basically, Clubhouse launches in the middle of fucking 2020. I'm trying to frame this shot. Anyway, whatever. Trying to make it so that I can relax a bit more. That microphone thing. I lost my lapel mic, so bear with me. I'll get another one. But, so basically, it went exactly the way you'd expect. Okay, so if you're on Android, right, hang on, let me just put the tracking on again. The eyes so that it doesn't go out of focus. There we go. Okay. So if you're on like fucking so for the Android guys who aren't familiar with Clubhouse yet and you're about to install it, it's basically tanking. Okay. So all the grifters, the LinkedIn cunts, basically every nightmare that you could imagine, but they're talking for 8 hours rather than like it's pretty funny. That said, no one shows up to my shit either, so who am I to fucking judge? Whatever. Who cares? You choose to listen to this. I'm not pretending to change the world. I'm not pretending to have a fucking conversation where I'm giving anything like wise. I'm just talking shit. Okay? And I just see all this shit and I go, you're full of shit, all of you. Like Eric Weinstein, like, and these people, they're making a living by baiting fucking lefties who aren't lefties. They're right-wingers, but you know this. But whatever, okay? And this is the American dominance of everything. Like, we can't have nice things. Clubhouse is actually a nice idea. I initially started with it thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's a good idea. We can sit and have conversations like phone calls and shit. And then all of a sudden, there's these rules where it's like, there's all these rules, and unless you are like a pro user of this thing, so unless you spend all day, every day, on this fucking thing, okay, all day, every day. You don't know the rules. You don't know the norms. And that's the thing, like with Twitter, it's like these people that are just unforgiving of people who fucking have a life. And this stems back to the culture wars as well. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't understand. I wasn't here for that fucking conversation. I thought I was just logging in for some fun. Turns out logging in is a microaggression. Turning up is a microaggression. Fucking having your mic on and on or off is wrong. Here's not the rules. I don't know the topic because you're talking shit that's not related to the topic that's said. I didn't know that. I'm sorry, I didn't know because I have a life. Contrary to what people fucking think. I have a life. I have shit to do. And it's like the comedy rooms are great. They're structured. They're fucking focused. They sit there, they talk, and they end on time. And they're great. So I'm not bagging the comedy rooms, but these political rooms on Clubhouse, my God, where people just sit. Like I could sit on these things for hours and hours on end and just talk and talk and talk. I get that. That's what I do here. Same thing. Except you get to look at my face. I have to fucking put eyeliner on. But I'm just saying. Anyway, I can't even remember what my point was. Oh yeah, I was going to explain Clubhouse. Didn't explain it well. But it's basically like the world's longest fucking corporate bullshit meeting. Can you imagine? It is a really interesting insight though, okay, into American corporate culture. Like they treat these things like it's a fucking meeting. And you go in and you're like, oh my God, these people. It's like, okay, so the culture wars rooms, okay? These fucking MAGA, like, oh, free speech war birds. I fucking bloviate for 8 hours on free speech, free speech, fucking dance, talking in circles, round and round and round and round and round. Freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. I'm not racist. I'm not racist. How dare you call me racist? I'm not racist. Rather than doing any introspective work or going, hey, why was I called that thing? What is the, okay, here we go. How about I sit down and try to understand the point of view and try to, using the principle of charity, as I've talked about before, go, why was I called that? What perspective led that person to this, like, fucking batshit conclusion? Or maybe you could go and sit and read a fucking book or look at all the perspectives and say, okay, well, why do people believe this? Why do people fucking go after this thing? I'm always curious to know why people believe what they believe. That's principle of humanity. That's principle of charity. That's a foundation of philosophy and philosophical debate. Interesting. No one seems very interested in addressing that. Almost like these debates are a product and a way to inflame people and like just build their personal brand with woke baiting and queer baiting and trans baiting and race baiting. Like if you set up a room, I'm just saying, if you set up a room that's open to the public, okay, that is, white supremacy is not that big in America, what do you think's going to happen? You're baiting. You know it's not good faith and we know it. And this is the thing that annoys me is people just set up these rooms and they're basically, honey pots for fucking, then the media reports on some drama and then they're all at it and then Eric Weinstein shows up for some fucking inexplicable reason, okay? Someone with a lot of time on their hands. No one working class has that much time on their hands, okay? I don't care. I'm going to slag off people like that who position themselves, who these fucking culture wars have somehow built a cult around and positioned as geniuses. Yeah, we're all smart at our own things. He's not that smart in some matters, okay? I'm smart in some areas that he's not. He's smart in areas that I'm not. He has more money than me and a fuck ton more time, okay? But if he rolls up and starts bitching in a Clubhouse room for 12 hours straight, I question his motives. Okay? If you set up a room that's like woke baiting and vice versa, if you're sitting there going, anti-blackness on fucking social media, you don't think that the MAGA bros aren't going to jump in and crash the fucking thing? Of course they are. It's fucking bullshit. There's no good faith conversations. And there's no good faith people, because all of the people who had nothing better to do than sit around and have 12-hour conversations about that have nothing better to do with their time. Okay? This is not difficult conversations. This is a window into the fucking, what should be a fucking asylum. People with nothing better to do than fucking bitch and moan. Anyway, Clubhouse is cool. It's a good product. I have a lot of hope for it. People can have good conversations. It's fun. If you get them, if you're like me and think they're all fucking nuts, it's fucking great. I just go in there and think it's all hilarious. And I don't think it's a solvable problem. I think that America should just acknowledge that America is one big cult divided into two discrete warring factions who don't understand the fact that they're one big cult. I can be the only Australian in the room and they're all going, oh, fucking. And then you got and then the Bitcoin people fucking show up and the NFT, oh my God, NFTs. Oh my God, the future. Let's have a 12-hour conversation about NFTs. Or not. Why don't you sit down and learn about the tech? Why don't you build a product? I don't see. All of the people who go on these things are hypers. They're hypes. They're just fucking. If you've been on the internet for any length of time, like I have, you see the scammers move in. And it keeps trying to focus on my microphone. Fucking hell, stupid thing. Hang on. Focus on the eyes, motherfucker. Okay. But if you've been on the internet any length of time, right, you know that these things are just basically, the scammers will move in. Like this happened with the early internet. Oh, affiliate marketing, MLM, and this brand new thing. And then basically blockchain and Clubhouse had a fucking baby of con people. And now they're all building alternative social platforms and hyping their alternative platforms and basically recruiting 20-year-olds who have no idea that we've done this 1,000 times over now. They don't understand that this has all been done before. These have all been said before. It's all been fucking dissected before. Americans online. Americans show up and start dominating the fucking conversation and bore the tits off the rest of us. They take themselves so fucking, it's like what does everything have to be a political fucking pageant? It's a pageant. It's basically, you know what? Fucking Miss World. Sorry about this. Hang on. Let me adjust things. Let me move back to where I was. It's fucking pageant. Beauty pageant. What did you do? Here we go. Now we've got the swimsuit competition with Eric Weinstein, whatever, whichever the fuck one. Okay. Then we've got how to change the world with blockchain bros. How will all the people who are futurists and they're 21 years old and still fucking in school. It's like, how about someone ask me what I think's going to happen? I think the exact same thing's going to happen that happened 20 years ago with the original internet, which is that a bunch of people are going to sit and talk about the future that they don't fucking understand the past of. That didn't come out correctly. When they don't understand the past and what happened, which is that scammers move in. The life coaches. Okay, this is the brilliant part. This is when all the life coaches move in. There's people holding fucking life coaching. If you are holding a life coaching session on Clubhouse, I don't want your advice. I don't want your advice. If you're hustling for fucking spare change, I don't want your advice. I want life coaching from fucking people who are successful. Also, you don't need much coaching in life, which is fucking don't give a fuck about authority, pay your taxes, look after yourself, drink water, and have plenty of sex. There's my fucking life advice. I don't know what Stein means. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Someone coded, got a pimple there and I just hit it. I'm being super classy today. But Michael Tracy sets up this room on Clubhouse. It's like wokeism. I'm going to have a good faith conversation with woke people about wokeism. How about that's a bad faith title? How about there's no intent to actually understand what's going on with this stuff? I believe people have been radicalized and I believe that it's a number of different incentives, okay, in place. No one fucking, if anyone was legitimately concerned with debating wokeism and understanding what it is, my phone would be ringing off the hook. But it ain't. They all follow me. That's what I'm saying. They're not interested. They're baiting each other and bloviating. And it's just another platform for people to just talk shit. And yes, I'm talking shit. But my shit's better than that. And I'm just salty. Okay, anyway. So, Clubhouse started out well. Then what? Life coaches moved in, scammers moved in, NFTs moved in, and then all of a bunch of countries have banned it. China banned it and Egypt have banned it, called people. They basically said that people are terrorists on there, which is funny, which is true. Terrorists for the fucking brain. Other than the comedy Clubhouse rooms are actually pretty good, but anyway. Look at this. I'm being all gorgeous today. It's cool. It's good. It's authentic. Anyway, so what's happened is that basically before Clubhouse could even get an Android app out, Twitter went and launched Spaces. At least, and the benefit of Spaces, I think, is that you're not talking to people who block you, which is fantastic. You can actually connect with people that you follow and who follow you back, and you've already got the user base. You don't need, like Clubhouse, you need people's phone numbers and stuff. Like it was, yeah. Whereas on Twitter, you can still just jump on. So I think Twitter's going to kill Clubhouse. Facebook are launching their own version. Slack is launching their own version. LinkedIn's launching their own version. Telegram already fucking has it. But it's basically like a user-friendly version of Telegram. It's not, you just open a fucking channel or whatever. You've got, Discord's got their own version. So now you've got all these different things. But basically, I think what will happen is that it's just gone fully woke. Every so often you jump into Clubhouse and it's just like celebrities are on there. But no one who has anything to do with their day has 8 hours because they put all these protocols in place where it's probably where you're in the room and then it looks like you're not feeling like you're being rude by leaving the room. It's like, no, sorry, I've got to go. You know, if I had 8 hours to talk, I'd call my fucking family. I don't call people. Why would I fucking hang out with you guys? You're talking shit. Taking yourself so seriously. Now, the thing about Clubhouse is that is amazing is that you'll sit in these rooms and listen to the tension. So you've got to go, in and out of a few different rooms. But you get a sixth sense for when shit's about to go down. It's good. And you'll see that tension, and then eventually something like crazy will happen. But then what will happen is someone will set up this sort of woke bait room or, MAGA bait room or whatever. And, Weinstein bait room. They'll just set this stuff up and then the tension will just continue to rise. There'll just be this tension and then shit will go down. It'll be on. There'll be a fucking fight. And then and the way that it works is that mods can kick out other mods and you can be silenced and all this sort of stuff. And then it will all fight. But then a bunch of people will go and create their own meta room, which is dedicated to bitching out the people in the other room. It's like batshit speed dating. It really is. It's like fucking speed dating for fucking antisocial psychopaths. It really is. And then you go in and it's basically like, okay, you go from room to, and then, you've got people like me who just go room to room and listen in and think it's fucking funny. But there's people who just take themselves so seriously. And then you'll get all these people oh, no, we're going to create our own, Brett Weinstein is a fucking racist room. And people will just go to that room. And then you'll have side rooms. And it's basically like, what was the point in that? Other than it just being entertaining and an opportunity. Once you see the incentives at play here, okay, because Clubhouse is monetized, right? Once you see the incentives, which is that basically the incentive exists for someone to turn around and create their own fucking room and their own thing and monetize it and lead it and get all the fucking attention off the back of someone else's work. See, I'm somebody who has always started the original idea, the original concept, said the thing. Do you know how many fucking people from the culture wars lately have been stealing my fucking stuff? without credit. I'm actually getting fucking sick of it. I've seen someone mention again, I don't own it, but I'm the person who like applies a lot of this stuff, and it's pretty fucking coincidental that the week that I bring up the Solomon Asch conformity experiments, that other people are fucking suddenly claiming that as their own, or the basics in political theory, the bits that are convenient to them. They never mention that wokes are the right. No one ever mentions that, but they mention the other stuff. They steal all of this stuff, okay? Again, not mine, and I don't give a shit because, as my 8-year-old son said, well, people without ideas just have to steal ideas and you'll always have more, which is true. I'm always like light years ahead. You do you. I'll get new ideas. Who gives a shit? But at the same time, I just see these, with digital, okay, and it's not unrelated to blockchain and crypto, which is that the second there's a buck in it, the second there's some sort of capital, social capital included, or some sort of business opportunity in it, the fucking grifters move in. Okay. And that actually just derails all of the legitimate or good intentions or anything. So if you have to create a platform, and this is the mistake that Clubhouse made, and Twitter as well, which is that, if you make your platform, you have to assume that people are going to abuse the platform for this purpose. This is human behavior. Okay. Is that the fucking crooks are going to move in, they're going to abuse your platform, and they're going to use it in a way that it wasn't intended in order to profit and derail everything for everyone else in the world. Americans in particular, they're always, just because of the structures that they live under and the cult that they live under, the cult of business, the cult of hustle and all of that bullshit, and the cult of merit, all of their merit depends on fucking stealing it from other people. How's that merit when everything you do is a fraud and not your own idea? Repurposing and rebadging fucking ideas. Of course, but it's like, there is a word for these things and you just repackaged it. I call it surveillance capitalism. No, it's just capitalism. It's just Marxist analysis, dickhead. I call it white fragility. No, it's just called fucking defensiveness. I package it and fucking workshop it for 10 grand a pop. Get fucked. But that's what Clubhouse does, okay, is that people see an opportunity. And it's actually, this is the thing about social networking in general, is that shit floats. Anyone with a life or anyone who's doing anything, okay, isn't on these platforms. Nobody who's changing the world has 10 hours a day to fucking hang out on Clubhouse. I'm sorry, but they don't. Nobody who's actually engaging with the material, like theory. I have a backlog of so many books and so many journals. I barely get time to stream. If I was paid for it, it would be, I'd have more incentive to do so. But nobody who has a fucking life is on these platforms. And that means that they don't have an opinion, okay? And that means that you should take their opinion in the context of the fact that they're talking shit and they don't have much else going on, okay? Now, Twitter is viable and Clubhouse, okay? All these things, I know I'm making generalizations, okay? I'm saying that they have valid uses. They definitely have valid uses as a marketing platform. I use Twitter as a marketing platform. I put ideas out there while I'm working on things like business plans and all that sort of stuff during the day. And I'm also on uni break because I took a break while I was moving, and now I'm delayed till July. So I've got a little bit more time on my hands. But generally speaking, I don't have time. But I use Twitter as a place to get ideas out there and whatever. I don't even engage with it. You'll notice I don't fucking engage much. But it's, I also schedule stuff. I schedule tweets. I do all of that sort of stuff. So I'm also making fucking jokes. I'm also just roasting people. I'm just saying that nobody who is actually busy or doing work or has anything substantial to say, because you know what? There's a fire hose of psych research coming out right now. There's a fire hose of philosophical, theoretical work to do. There's a fire hose of learning. There's a massive backlog of learning for everybody to do, and yet nobody engages with it. Right? If I actually sit around and go, hey, that's not what everyone's they're reading the fucking, I can't say Chinese whispers anymore, but whatever the fuck. Yes, I can. Chinese whispers, get fucked. I can say, actually, yes, I can. You know why? Because the US wants war with China, so that's perfectly acceptable. Anyway, it's perfectly acceptable for fucking Israel to do whatever the fuck they want to. Anyway, whatever. I'm saying that I know how time consuming it is to actually do this full time, okay, and be good at it. First of all, you need the skills I'm saying I know how long research takes. I know how long it takes to digest. I know that, how long it takes to how many disciplines you need to understand in order to fully understand the culture wars and have debates, good faith debates, and also to write down a lot of this stuff, okay? I haven't had time to write because I've got a job that I do. I'm trying to pivot the business into publishing. But again, I know how long these things take. I know how long things take to produce. I know how much time and money and budget goes into the production of propaganda. It's what I fucking do. Okay? There's a reason why I don't bother doing this shit, because I know that it's expensive and time consuming and I don't do it. But I've done it for other people. It takes time and expertise and money, and there's a big learning curve. And I'm saying that if you're how the fuck are you able to sit around for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week and still be learning? You're not. It's not possible. And that's the thing, is that there's all these people who have just appointed themselves, they identify as smart. They appoint themselves as fucking people's hero and God and font of all knowledge, while people like me and people like a lot of other people are sitting around actually engaging the material, engaging the ideas, trying to diagnose the problem underneath and trying to fix it from within. Not going to war in a 12-hour fucking Clubhouse room with a bunch of teenage morons. Okay? Who cares? Anyway, that's Clubhouse. It's promising tech. I think we're going to change the world with it. The people who've actually read Marx don't get in these rooms because they're too busy reading Marx. It's time-consuming and dry, okay? People who understand the theory, it's time-consuming and dry, okay? People who are actively sitting around trying to understand blockchain so they can explain it to people, it's time-consuming and dry, okay? Everyone else who's at the front is a fucking salesman, and I know how long it takes to learn these things and do these things. I am as smart as these people, if not fucking smarter. Okay, I just don't have a grifty gene, so I can't lie for money. That's my only failing. Okay, is that I'm actually too interested in the truth, too interested in ethics, and too fucking anti-American bullshit to suck their dicks and get on their podcast. I can't be fucked. Fuck America. They fucked up the world anyway. Anyway, so get on Clubhouse. It's interesting. If you like the sound of buttholes clenching. If you like entropy. I'm in the school of George Carlin, whereas I'm an entropy fan. I just love the chaos because I love the fact that this is just people time wasting. And they love the sound of their own voice. And there's these people who they sit around and they just worship these people like they're the smartest people in the world. But I don't see them reading or engaging with it. I don't see any good faith engagement with the goodness and the good intentions of the people who have fallen for this woke propaganda stuff. Okay? That's the thing. As much as I'm annoyed and sort of... I'm not, I've said this before. I think my mistake, my mistake was thinking that everyone could separate, like I said, belief from behavior. I've said that a few times, okay? Belief. People can believe what they want. They just shouldn't behave in a certain way. They shouldn't be cancelling people and oppressing people. People can believe what they want. Also, I'm interested in what people believe. If people believe something different to me, then that's interesting. I'm sure that they come to that conclusion through different experiences. Most of the woke people come from it from a very privileged point of view. I've been friends with a lot of rich kids, and they just don't know the experience of a working class kid. They don't know. They literally just don't know. And so, yes, we're talking about elites and shit, but I'm roasting them as a group, and I'm not focused on individuals. I don't try not to pick on individuals unless it's Eric Weinstein, because it's fucking bloviating, fucking, tedious. Okay? Yes, he has some good things to say, but everyone has some good things to say. It's just, maybe let other people talk for a minute. We need to stop elevating heroes, building cults around people. It's just, it's never going to happen. Anyway, I don't know what my point, I had no point. Just felt like I had to stream, and I wasn't prepared, and I'm tired. I don't look well, as you can see. I've had, but I'm going to go. I'll be back with something a bit better tomorrow. I think I felt I needed to stream. I have to keep exercising the muscles, but also, I'm just fucking sick of this stuff. I'm sick of this outrage. I'm sick of this, everyone piling on to one person because they say something stupid. Yeah, people are stupid. But you look like a bad person by picking on them and engaging them. I just ignore them and tell them to fuck off. Okay? So what? Nobody owes. Why are people living why is this living rent free in people's heads? Why aren't you filling your head with knowledge or trying to understand what's happening or try to fix something or be the change that you want to see rather than sitting around talking in circles around a problem when there's literally people who said, guys, we know the problem. And you're obviously just profiting from it. You're just developing a personal brand off of this thing because you've been told repeatedly what this is and you ignore it. Okay? That's the thing, is that there's people who do know what's going on and there are people who aren't listened to. Why is that? Why is that? It's because they're fucking grifting. Okay? Or they're trying to build their own version of things. I wouldn't trust fucking Peter Thiel any more than I trust fucking anyone else. Yeah, noted fucking good guy. Jesus fucking Christ. Get your heads together. Fucking read some books. Anyone who hangs out on Clubhouse for 12 hours has no fucking life. And they have no opinion. They're entertaining to listen to, for sure. Okay? Definitely entertaining. But I'm saying, distance yourself from it. No one who has anything productive to do. I hate that word. I don't like the word productive. But, anybody who has anything to say or meaningful to say is busy doing it. Okay? They're working in policy. They're setting laws. They're doing legal cases. I find myself in a weird position because I am digital. I'm a digital consultant, so I have to be in this. But if I wasn't, then I wouldn't be doing this. If I wasn't researching the internet, I would be doing something a lot more fucking productive than this. But anyway, I'm going to go. It's not worth my time. Really isn't. But I like the people that do watch and I try to get some traction there. And I'm here for a different reason, which is to build the skills so that I'm not afraid if I am actually ever asked my opinion on something without it being fucking, overridden by the experts who don't seem to have half the qualifications in politics and tech that I do. Wonder why that is. People with dicks. Anyway. I love you. The only women, have you noticed that the only women that actually, nothing against the women involved, but the only women who get fucking listened to on this thing are the women who are willing to get their tits out. It's not a coincidence. Okay. I'm just going to point that out. All right. I'm not willing to do that shit. It's we've got to get to the truth and we've got to find some understanding. I was excited about Clubhouse. I thought, okay, maybe we might be able to get through some stuff and have some good conversations. But they're not, because the grifters have just turned it and started to dominate every room and start their own room and monetize it and, be at the mercy of their fucking, see how much money Tim Pool gets, like a fucking cam girl. How much all these fucking I call them they're political cam girls. They just say the stupidest things. And I've just realized that it's just Screaming Baby Jones, thank you for taking the time, Taya. I thank you. It's okay. I don't mind. That's fine. I'm just riffing. But I'm just saying, I do actually enjoy this, right? But what I'm saying is, am I the only one who notices these things? That they say the stupidest things, but they say it with, as long as you say it with confidence. You just say it they just say something that's just wrong, like it's a fact. Oh, Marxism is this. It's that's not what it is. That's not it. You're an idiot. And just because you say it with confidence, it doesn't mean you are correct. America. All of America is built on, it's basically one big fucking, confidence scam. That's why it's such a fucking Ponzi scheme. It's because it's built on confidence rather than actual truth. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for your precious life seconds. I don't take them for granted. Okay, I appreciate it. I'm just saying, we're just riffing about fucking Clubhouse and how they pretend to be the solution when they're just the same fucking problem, which is Americans talking shit with confidence at each other and at war, and then like feeding the same beast. Can we stop feeding that same fucking beast, please? Okay, and just call them all dickheads and start like funding people who actually think and spend their time and, you know, all that stuff. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? I'm just saying, Brett Weinstein can claim victim for a little while, but he did pretty well out of it. He did pretty well out of it. There's nothing, he's done all right, okay? People like me who speak the truth all the time, okay, get no support. But they're millionaires, okay? Don't be silly, okay? Because they speak the convenient truth and they pick a side. I didn't pick a side, and I refuse to. Stop fucking baiting the other side and start just being reasonable. There's good parts on both sides. Okay? Jesus. Fucking assholes. All of you. I'm going to go. I really should just set up an OnlyFans media, like where I abuse my audience. And they fucking just let them jerk off to abuse. I really would probably be better at that, wouldn't I? I love you. Visit my website if you like. It's tayasmith.com.au. My scroller's not working because I'm on like the iMac's not fucking, I don't know, it's not connecting to Google Drive or something. But I love you. Thank you for your precious life seconds. I'm working on stuff in the background, but watch this space. Visit my website. All that shit. If you want to support this load of bullshit, you know where to go. If you don't, whatever. Call my HR department. If you want to report me to the HR department, fucking go for it. Okay, I love you. Bye. Now, the stuff doesn't work, so it's just going to come up with like a blank screen. Forgive me. This has been a clusterfuck, but this is quality content. You love it. Bye. I need a producer. That's why I need money, because then I can actually do a decent job. Okay. Bye.